Hello guys and welcome back to my Lorethrough series. Today we're going to take a closer look at Raya Lucaria Academy. We've already briefly visited it in the last couple of episodes for some NPC Questlines, but of course it's got its own set of secrets that warrant their own video. Let's start with the stuff we can find out before even entering the Academy. In the Thops video, we already heard that the Academy is a place to study glintstone sorceries, and that it sealed itself off from the outside world after declaring it wouldn't interfere in the Shattering War. Their reason for not interfering can be found on two sword monuments throughout Liurnia that speak of two Liurnian wars against the Erdtree. The first one ended in a victory for the Erdtree. Based on where the sword monument and the Bellum church commemorating the victory is, and the area being heavily guarded, I assume in this war the Erdtree conquered the area between the Lift of Dectus and the north gate of the Academy. The second war had no victor and instead ended with atonement and a vow. To find out exactly what this means and what this vow was about, we can talk to Miriel inside of the Church of Vows, where the war was ended.
You're tarnished, aren't you? I welcome you to the Church of Vows. I am Miriel, steward of this sacred chamber. My apologies for the unseemly state of affairs. Do you know the origin of this place? How it came to be known as the Church of Vows? Well, that is a shame. But who can blame you? The shattering has caused us, all of us, to lose sight of something very dear. It is here, at the Church of Vows, that the great houses of the Erdtree and the Moon were joined by the matrimonial bond between red-haired Radagon and Renala of the Full Moon. And so our church holds in view the monuments of both houses, the Erdtree of the capital and the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Oh, was there something you needed? You are free to show yourself around. I would serve as your guide, only my legs aren't what they used to be. If you find anything of use, you are free to take it with you. Unless, perhaps, you are in search of instruction, in which case I will share all that I know.
The war ended with a peace agreement, the Erdtree and the Academy becoming allies, and the faction's leaders Radagon and Renala getting married. Is this a rare case of a story with a happy end in the lands between?
Do you possess any celestial dew? Then I would like to share my knowledge with you. Concerning the miracle of this Church of Vows, Radagon once cleansed himself with celestial dew, repented his territorial aggressions, and swore his love to Renala. The order of the Erdtree and the fate of the Moon were conjoined, and all the wounds of war forgiven. This miracle blesses the Church to this day, and so you need only follow Radagon's example to restore any bond, however strained or severed, to its rightful state of harmony. My faith does not waver. The miracle rooted in these grounds will once again mend the world, and this time its bounty will not be squandered. If you would be Elden Lord, tarnished, I hope that you too will share my faith.
By reenacting what Radagon did when he repented his aggression, we can use Celestial Dew at the basin of the church to restore a bond with an NPC we may have turned hostile by our own actions throughout our journey. Miriel hopes that should we become Elden Lord, we would have faith in the restoring of bonds and in forgiveness, just like him.
You wish to know more of Lord Radagon? Lord Radagon was a great champion, possessed of flowing red locks. he came to these lands at the head of a great golden host. When he met Lady Renala in battle, he soon repented his territorial aggressions there, and became husband to the Carian queen. However, when Godfrey, first Elden Lord, was hounded from the lands between, Radagon left Renala to return to the Erdtree capital, becoming Queen Marika's second husband and king consort, taking the title of Second Elden Lord. The mystery endures to this day as to why Lord Radagon would cast Lady Renala aside, and moreover, why a mere champion would be chosen for the seat of Elden Lord. You wish to know more of Lady Renala? She is queen, head of the Carian royal family, and governor of the Academy of Rea Lucaria, the great and beautiful full moon witch. Sadly, her heart was broken when Lord Radagon left her, and then, when the Academy rebelled against the royals, she was locked away in the Grand Library. In the end, Lady Renala was left alone, cradling the amber egg Lord Radagon bequeathed her. Now she devotes herself to it through forbidden rite, the grim art of reincarnation. You would do well to remember, severing a vow, strongest of bonds, has consequences ever more dire.
Of course, there is no happy end to this story. Gideon already told us that Radagon left Renala to become Elden Lord, only leaving behind the amber egg that houses the great rune that we are after. New information to us is that Renala actually also lost control of the Academy since Radagon's abandonment, and now practices reincarnation while being locked up in the Grand Library. Finally, Miriel has one more small secret to tell us that won't be relevant in this video just yet, but we should keep it in mind for later.
It's said that Lord Radagon harbored a secret. A famed sculptor of the Erdtree capital was once summoned to render Lord Radagon's likeness in giant stature, when he glimpsed the skeleton in Radagon's closet. And as such, it's said the great statue harbors his secret too.
After entering the Academy and making our way through the Church of the Kaku, we get into the garden, which has become a decrepit graveyard full of monsters and dogs. The first thing that's worth mentioning here is the encounter with an Alabaster Lord who drops the Gravity Well spell. Its description tells us that the demigod Radahn once studied this technique from one of the Alabaster Lords when he was young. Perhaps gravity-based sorceries are, or at least used to be, one of the types of sorceries taught here. Going up the water wheel and past the desk where Thops's quest ended tragically, we're now in the schoolhouse classroom. From here, we can make our way to the debate parlor, where we encounter our first boss of the Academy, the Red Wolf of Radagon. It seems Renala wasn't the only one who Radagon left at Rea Lucaria Academy in order to become Elden Lord. Sadly, he blocks the path to our next Great Rune, so we have to take the good boy down. After doing just that, we need to take a good look around, because the debate parlor is probably the room that tells us the most about the Academy's more recent history and its structure. We can see 6 different paintings on the wall. 4 of them clearly correspond to the 4 conspectus, or lineages of study at the Academy. Those are the Carolus conspectus of the sorcerer Azur, which is the study of comets, the Olivinus conspectus of sorcerer Luzat, which is the study of meteors, the Twin Sage conspectus, which is the elite of the Academy that study both the former types of sorcery, and finally the Lazuli conspectus, who study Carian sorceries that view the moon as equal to the stars. This seems to be the newest conspectus that only really spread after the Carians under Renala, who's also in one of the paintings, took over the Academy. The other sorcerers maybe seem to have some sort of objection to this kind of sorcery, And as we learned, as soon as the opportunity arose and Renala was weak, they locked her in the library and took control of the academy back from her. That leaves one painting left, which brings us to maybe the biggest secret of Raya Lucaria. On the path to the debate parlor, there was an illusory wall to the left that leads us to the Comet Sorcery, but more importantly, going up the ladder and dropping to the next room, we can find this seamless Graven school talisman, which actually gives us a ton of insight. It says the primeval current is a forbidden tradition of glintstone sorcery. To those who cleave to its teachings, the act of collecting sorcerers to fashion them into seeds of stars is but another path of scientific inquiry. Now, who do we know who was called the Graven Witch, accused of unthinkable treatment of sorcerers, and subsequently expelled from the academy? That's right, Selen. Thops told us that she was the most promising sorceress at the academy, so it's not unreasonable that the final painting is a painting of Selen. Now, if this theory is true, then Selen truly was guilty of that unthinkable treatment of sorcerers that she was accused of, and she can't be trusted. However, the continuation of Selen's story can wait until a future episode. After the debate parlor, there is a large rooftop section. Apart from the spare Academy Glintstone key we already discussed in the Thops video, this section holds another imbued sword key that lets us open a portal at the 4 belfries. And also this peculiar room with a grotesque school of graven mages and the staff of the primeval glintstone sorcerer Azur. This room is further evidence of this forbidden school of magic Selen may or may not have been a part of. By the way, there's a teleporter to the right here on the path to the Grand Library that leads to the Church of Vows we visited earlier. This is probably the teleporter Renala took to seal her bond with Radagon. Finally, just before the elevator leading to the Grand Library where Renala is waiting, we can take down Moongrum, one of the Carrion Knights. These knights are another interesting topic I'll cover very soon when I talk about Caria Manor. Regardless, that will cover this little mishmash of a video talking about everything that is related to the Raya Lucaria Academy that I felt like was interesting enough. In our next video, we'll be taking on Renala and acquiring our second Great Rune. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, otherwise leave a comment on how I can improve these videos. I'll see you next time, bye bye!